This is the third time, and hopefully it'll let me finish this. So let me hurry. OSP me. That's what we did. Google. Boom. Hit enter. It should say it. Let's read it anyway. OSP. The word is defined as sky, earth, corpo, also corporation. That's where we get all our corporations from. Business people, business, and spirit. The sum of corporeal and spiritual knowledge as at present was published. There's a better definition because it tells you that these gods in this book, in this whole pantheon, were alive and walking the earth before they died. You'll read that in the OSP on the cover if you got the link in this video. I told you in the first video, so hopefully you got it. Let's end this video right now by going to the OSP real quick, because I showed you. And here's the male and female of Jehovah right here. This is why we have Baphomet with a set of breast and a phallus on the lap. And that's why Jehovah's Witnesses, Mr. Morris, the governing body member, sat in the chair with the girl on the right-hand side and the boy on the left, just like Baphomet. And they approved that photo before they put it out to your people. You've been serving demons the whole time with Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm just telling you, I'm sorry. But I had to learn the hard way when I was young. I paid the price. Judas is here. Everybody's here. But let's go to our book right now. You ready? Here we are. So let's scroll down. We're back in the book, America, being the latest and most accurate description. We're just going to take it from the very beginning, and we're not even going to read any of it. What we're going to do is read one important thing. Page 9, ironically. Is it page 9? I can't remember what number this is, but if you click on the link in the first video, since we got 3 pieces of this video, I'm sorry, but there's something you need to read here before you go getting into this book. And this book costs how much at the time when this person bought it? There's a price tag. Oh, $85. And look at that writing. It looks like it's old school. So it could have been bought a long time ago. So $85 back then was a lot of money. But I have to read this part to you right now. I'm going to end this video and you can do it for yourself. You can look it up. A catalog of the authors which are either mentioned or made use of in this volume of America. Now let's look at some of the names, shall we? All you have to do is go to Google and type in the name the same way they spell it, and they all have history, and you will cry. Because they all were here first. Look at this alien right here. Right here, alien. Alien, commonly known, when you look it up on Google, commonly known as Claudius Alienus, who served under Septimius Servus. All those Greeks love using the last name U.S. at the end of their names. Us, you know? So look at when he was born, when he reigned, all that great stuff, and they put him in this book. He's used here because he came here and discovered some things about this land, bitch. Oh, that's nothing, right? How about Alexander? Let's keep going. As amazingly as it is for these names to be popping up in this book before you start reading the fucking book, it's just amazing as the names that you find that are the sons of Jehovah in the OSP book, from Thoth, Thor, Zeus, Anubis. And the one name they don't give you is your Jesus. But they tell you in the glossary who Jesus is. They tell you who the Christian is. They tell you who the Muslim is. They tell you all these religions, which only meant one thing, and that was back in the 1500s, but it only means one thing to you. Because you were the only one that was left out, and you're still paying the price today. You're the one that's still on the bottom. You'll be there for a while, right? You're the one they used to help build everything, right? That's how important you really are to them. They keep you in their cities so that you can sit or at least be babysat. Christopher Columbus had a last name of Colon. You don't believe it? It's on this list. Right in the first 8 pages of the reading, you'll see Christopher Colon. Colon. What do he give you? Colonies? 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 Why the colon? Don't we suffer from colon cancer? Isn't that a type of cancer you can catch? And that's just scratching the surface. Look at these names. I'm going to show you a couple good names in here. I'm going to show you. Look them up. Augustus. Where's he at? Who's Augustinius? Look it up. Aristotle. Come on. Rather they claim that they're just quoting from these people. Look at when Aristotle was supposedly born, bitch. Look at his writings. Right? Scribe. Right? Look at these names. Look them up for yourself. Just type those names into Google and see who they were. What year they were born. Look at this. You think I'm shitting you? Watch this. Let's just keep looking. We know this guy right here. Eusebius. Come on. Look that spelling up. This symbol is the S. It's not an F. Because an F has a cross over it, right? Over the neck of the hook. So they try to make it seem like it's an F, so you'll mess up. It's an S. That's standard with a lot of the French writing. Got to get into some names that you will recognize. Let's keep going. Come on. Herodotus. Look at this. Come on. Oh my goodness. Homer. Oh my God. Keep going. Wait till you see. Moses. Right there. Moses. Moses. Keep going. Peter Martyr. You know. Saint Peter. Philo-Judaeus. Oh my God. Plato. Pliny. Look up Pliny in Google, quick. Plutarch. Rabbi Simeon. Is that Simon the Lesser? Sigismund. You don't have to put it in the borrow, just put in that first name and you will shit bricks. Look at the photo they give you. And then type this in Google. realhistoryww.com. And look at all the different things you find. In fact, here's Edward VI. Right here. Just go through them. Go through them. Know what it means to swart. Remember I put that in the last video? Swart. What a swart was? That's what they were calling black. Swarthy. Black. But tawny was not black. Tawny was copper. So when you talk about someone that was tawny, who was also a Shawnee, somebody like I don't want to talk right now. I don't want to talk. Bishop Edmund right here, 1344 to 1419, right? Why don't we lift the top of this damn thing open and test the DNA? We have the technology now, right? Isn't it about technology? And we got technology from the tree of the knowledge of what? Good and evil, right? That whole communications broke it all open for us, right? They were looking at the stars then, right? It's in stone. These are your redheads right here. Edom was redhead. And you don't know how big Edom was, but Edom was here too. They have a name. I'm going to give it to you right now in that same book. Right now. Because I'm sick of this. Right now, I'm going to show you. God damn it. If I looked up just 6 names in this, and it was enough to prove. All these voyages. All these voyages. Look at the different lands. You just don't get it. But they knew. I'm trying to scroll down here for you. Here's an exact map. There's your Anian. You know, where we got the first, weirdly enough, COVID came to the United States where? Seattle. In Washington State, right? Maybe not Seattle, but in Washington State, right? Notice they got a little waterway that comes in, right? That was the beginning of the Anian. We call it the Arnon in the Bible. So what did the Israelites cross? They crossed the Red Sea. They crossed the Jordan, remember? Didn't Jesus walk over the Jordan? Didn't he get baptized in the Jordan? Jordan just means a waterway. The Anian is the Arnon, and the Anian ends where? Anian, also known as the Strait of Detroit. A Detroit is a strait known as the Anian. It's full circle. And it came all the way down to your Great Lakes. And before the Great Lakes, it ran right to New York. And it's interesting that it's called septen, right? Septentrionalius. There's Nova Mexico, right there. There's even Quiviri. What's that? Look it up. Here's your California people. New Albion. But Albany came from the name Albion, right? So what was the original name of New York? It was known as what? New Netherland? And before it was New Netherland, and it was way bigger than the New York State that we live in right now, as Pennsylvania. Home of the Bohemians, Transylvania, Pennsylvania. Yet, Bohemian Club is over in Washington State, just over the California border, right? New York State used to be called O.G.G. And if you know anything about O.G.G, that's the name that the old Queen of Hawaii put in her letter to Congress before she gave up power. She said that Hawaii is connected to O.G.G, and that one day O.G.G, someone will wake up and will realize where they are and what was done to his people. Think about that, Mr. President. Think about that. Think about that, all other races. Because in the end of your book, you say there's an end. And that the Antichrist is coming, right? It told you in your Bible, and I'm going to end it with this. We fight not against men, but against spiritual what? properties, entities. It didn't say that the men weren't involved. No. The men are ran and led by the spirits. And yet the true creator's people used to be connected to a great spirit. And power supposedly took it. No different than your so-called King Solomon, who was a Sali, who was a son of a Deweit, not a David, a Deweit. That's why on your old Led Zeppelin albums, you got a dude bent over with wheat on his back, and they gave you the parable in the Bible of the separation between the wheat and the weeds and the tares. Who mixed the wheat in with the weeds? Remember, the wheat was put into the weeds. The weeds were put among the wheat. Remember that? And your wheat had the ability, the Deweets had the ability to cross from a Deweet to a Drook. So some of us do know something. And those are the ones we're calling garbage, right? And the worst is coming to all of us, and we're not even ready. But they're not saying anything to you. They don't think any of us out here know or have a fucking clue. Just talk to your military guys. They know the name Jehovah. I showed you a video a couple times ago where they're singing, "There's no God like Jehovah. There's no God like Jehovah." The military men were singing that. Well, who taught them? So to end this video, look up a song on YouTube. It's called the theme song to Barry Gordon's The Last Dragon. See, even in that movie, they gave you a light-skinned black man. Why? Because he was representing something. And who do you fight against? Who do you fight against? A dark-skinned black man in that movie. The Master. Remember? Now, if you re-listen to those words, you have to tear up. You have to have a tear. And yet they told you in that same Bible, no more tears. Why are we still crying today? Because we don't know who we are. But weirdly enough, DMX sung that they don't know who we be, right? Did he know, but yet he already gave up something, so it was too late? Do we know? Because he's an entertainer. He had a craft, right? Only DMX can call and talk about that. I don't know. But you see, when you have a president stand before the world and hold up a Bible in front of a church that almost could have been burnt, but even though down south we had churches burnt out of hate against blacks, the whole world one day will be taking a knee. Just like they're showing you today. It's just so weird that it's happening. But the whole world will have to take a knee. Because what's coming is even worse than COVID. But it came from the same people. And those people don't have skin. That's the truth. I wish you all well. And I hope you wake up.